help me. You're the only person on earth who can get me out of this mess.
Not my problem. You made your bed, now lie in it.
How can you be so cold? Do you have any idea how much of a mess I'm in? Apparently, Robert just said the wedding's off. The guests are all going home, and some of them even said they want their gifts back. Ugh!
Wow, Lizzie, I have to say, I am really impressed with how well you're managing to keep your cool.
I am not keeping my cool. My surroundings are turning into a living hell before my goddamn eyes!
Whoa, where in the cheese monster's name did that come from?
Oh my god. I worked so hard to back myself a rich husband. I thought this was finally my shot at making it into the big leagues. And what the hell is all this crap about you being the manager of a company? I didn't know that. Why wouldn't you tell me something so important?
Why would I share anything about my life with you when you've treated me with nothing but contempt and disdain ever since we were kids? You cut me out of your lives, and that's what I'm sticking with. The fact your life just got turned upside down doesn't change that one bit.
As if that's not bad enough, you're doing a project with Globex International? I had no idea. Please, this is my last chance. Will you come, like, right now? Please, 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 please. I'm serious. If this wedding ends now, my life ends along with it.
Why would your life be over? You just failed at marrying into money, that's all. You'll just have to work even harder next time.
No, it's not that simple. You don't understand. I'm in debt.
Huh? Debt?
Dad got involved in some shady business. It went south, and he ended up getting into crazy amounts of debt, even convincing me to let him sign the contracts in my name. I told him we should stop, and that it was a bad idea, but he wouldn't listen. He just insisted. It's fine, dear. You're about to marry the future CEO of Globex. Gah! I knew him borrowing all that money was a bad idea.
Wow. Are you actually a moron? Jeez, you're both as bad as each other.
Almost all of the guests from Robert's side of the family are gone already. If you don't get your ass down to this church and fix this mess for me ASAP, I'll never forgive you.
I have no obligation to fix your mess, Pumpkin Pie. I also couldn't give a toad's ball sack whether you forgive me or not.
Oh, I see how it is. Well, in that case, I take it you don't care what happens to your precious friend.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Don't play dumb with me. You and a certain someone at this wedding are besties, aren't you? I know more than you think I do, Angelica. If you don't fix the mess you've made, I won't be held responsible for what happens to her.
Yeah. Kayla, are you okay? You haven't been taken hostage or anything, have you?
Well, kind of. I'm totally okay, like, I'm not hurt or anything, but they won't let me go home for some reason. Lizzie and the rest of the family are panicking like a bunch of escaped mental patients. I swear they're about to lose their minds if they haven't already. They seem terrified by the thought of losing their connection to Globex.
What exactly is going on?
They're all running around the wedding hall with the speed of Olympic athletes, trying to chase down anyone related to Robert so they can find out where he ran off to. I wonder if this is how it looks when hunters go after elk. It's kind of entertaining to watch.
Jeez, just how panicked are they? They need to be careful. Someone could call the cops.
Could? I'd say it's only a matter of time. I only heard in passing, but apparently your family are in a seriously bad situation. You didn't hear it from me, but word on the street is that they went into a bunch of debt with a black market loan shark, expecting to get rich when Lizzie married Robert. And not only that, but they blew the whole lot on gambling at the casino.
Huh? A black market loan shark at the casino gambling? What am I even reading?
Right? I guess I thought that with the power of Globex on their side, they could even bully a loan shark from the criminal underworld into submission. The arrogance. You know, being born into that family, it's a wonder you turned into a decent human being. I find myself repeatedly stupefied every time I hear something new about them.
What are you doing now? Didn't you say they weren't letting you go home?
Yeah, they have me locked in the waiting area. But I still have my phone and I can contact anyone I want. Honestly, I don't know what they expected to accomplish with this. I think they're panicking so hard that they lost their minds.
Wow. Taking a family member prisoner? That's a new low, even for them. I'm gonna call them and see if I can't speak some sense into them before they get arrested.
I'm not gonna lie. The thought of them being bundled into the back of a police car is exciting, but it's probably for the best you try and calm them down. You poor thing, though. Having to deal with them in the middle of their frenzy? Good luck. That's all I can say.
This is the worst! Oh my god, my life is so over!
The wedding hall company was obviously gonna sue you for damages after you flipped out and wrecked the place. There's no doubt about it, you only have yourself to blame. All you can do now is work hard to try and pay it off.
Angelica, I'm in a lot of trouble here, aren't I? I've already accepted getting married to Robert is a lost cause, but I need money. Like, seriously. Please, could you lend me some? Just for a little while. I promise to pay you back.
Whoa, no way. Like, absolutely no way. Don't you realize how dumb it is to pay off debt with more debt?
That's easy for you to say. Why don't you try being in my shoes for a minute? I don't have any other options. I literally won't have any money left if I pay these dicks at the wedding company the compensation they're demanding. But if I don't pay them something and demonstrate good faith soon, what's going to happen to me?
I don't know, and it's not my problem. You guys borrowed the money and you guys can pay it back. You guys smashed up the wedding hall so you guys can pay for it. Makes sense, right? Really though, why would you borrow money from a black market loan shark? Are you actually stupid?
What choice do we have? Dad's debt was already maxed out, and none of the legit companies would speak to him. We had no choice but to go elsewhere.
That doesn't answer the fundamental question of why you think paying off debt with debt is a reasonable thing to do. To make matters worse, you used it for gambling of all things. I mean, seriously? Since when did you guys go to the casino?
I heard gambling was the fastest way to make money, so I was hoping I could win on blackjack and pay off all the debt in one go. Anyway, I don't need you preaching at me. I know I messed up. What I need now is a solution. Are you really prepared to abandon your family like this?
Yes, I couldn't care less what happens to you. My arrogant, in-over-her-head baby sister ain't my problem. Nice knowing ya. Peace.
Things finally calmed down now. Phew. I couldn't make it for drinks last night because I got dragged along to Robert's parents' place to apologize, along with everyone else. But I'm finally free at last. Let's go drink till we forget what delinquents our family are.
Jeez, you actually went with them? You didn't do anything wrong. You shouldn't have gone with them to apologize. I know Robert from work, so I felt kind of obliged to show my face. But you?
But our connections with Globex are so super important to us, right? Besides, in all seriousness, Robert turned into my knight in shining armor when he busted into the waiting room and freed me from the clutches of our insane family. I feel like I want to marry him myself now.
Do your best, son. I won't try and stop you. Anyway, Kayla, I just want to say thanks.
Huh? What for?
You've always had my back. Back in high school and back when I moved out of my parents' place and left our hometown, you were the only one who stayed in touch with me. You probably didn't realize at the time, but you were my rock.
Damn, that's kind of a shame.
Huh? What's a shame?
To me, you were always just that tenacious, slightly eccentric maverick who never bowed down to anyone and had a talent for saying the most awkward thing at the worst possible moment. But then you go and tell me I was your rock? I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, I don't know what to say either.
Don't sweat it. We can forget the awkwardness by knocking back copious amounts of tequila. It's time we went out for those long-awaited drinks. I won't be going home tonight. I made a promise to drink with you until the sun rises, and fulfill it I will.
An all-nighter? You serious? I'm not as young as I used to be, you know.
No, I simply will not take no for an answer. I'll take you prisoner behind the bar if I have to. Do I make myself clear?
Kayla? I think being imprisoned by our lunatic family yesterday might have had a bad influence on you. After that, me and Kayla drank well into the night, until the next morning, and then until the afternoon. Yep, we may have overdone it slightly. I guess I must have been holding in a lot of pent-up stress from work or something. Because after the hangover wore off, I felt like a new woman, reborn and ready to take on the challenges of life once more. As for Lizzie and the rest of our family, they pulled the Hollywood-level stunt of skipping town in the middle of the night to escape the criminal underworld loan shark who was on their tail. Unfortunately for them, things went south when my dad got arrested after he was found to be avoiding paying taxes on his business. The loan shark recognized my dad's face in the news report and within less than a week had chased them down to the other end of the country and was now extremely angry and very eager to get his money back. With my dad now in prison, Lizzie and my mom have no choice but to work like dogs in the hopes they can clear the absurd amount of debt they're in. You know, it's actually kind of ironic to think they mercilessly abused me for being a failure, only for their lives ultimately to disintegrate into a train wreck so disastrous it's worthy of its own Jerry Springer special. Hopefully, they'll learn their lesson and use the whole thing as an opportunity to become better people. Before we conclude today's episode, I have one final shocking piece of news for you. Apparently, not long after the days of today's epic story, Kayla and Robert started dating. At first, I wasn't sure whether ditzy Kayla and diligent Robert would be a good match, but after 6 months, they got engaged. Who would have thought it? In the end, Kayla ended up being the one who married into money. Life really is full of surprises, huh?
Hey Cindy, are you there? I really think we need to talk about what you said earlier. I still just don't get what you mean when you said that you want me out of the house.
You mean you didn't read the note that I left there for you? It should be all there in plain English for you to understand. Just read the note and you'll see that I meant exactly what I said. I want you out of the house and I don't want you to ever come back. Is that simple enough to understand, Dan?
No, I still don't understand it. In fact, just why should I have to leave the house? I don't get why you would want me to leave like this. And what about Irene? What is going to happen to her? Have you talked to her about this at all?
Oh, I'll have you know that I actually have talked to Irene about this. And she says that she wants you out of here as well. Even that girl is smart enough to realize that spending any more time with a bum like you is just pointless. We're both sick of you.
So you both really want to get rid of me that badly? But I don't even know what I did. Where is all this even coming from? I don't understand.
You really still can't figure out why we both want you gone? It's because you're poor, Dan. You don't make enough money, and we're sick and tired of having to live in this tiny house. I mean, do you really not just see how much you're stifling us? You only let us go out to eat at nice restaurants 2 or 3 times a week. And we only ever go shopping at the fancy grocery store once a week.
I know all of that, and that's why I'm so confused about what you're saying. I mean, just what any of what you wrote to me screams poor.
You don't know what you're talking about. I was talking to some of the other moms from the neighborhood, and they're always bragging about all of the amazing things that they get to do with their husbands. It's only ever me who doesn't have any fun or interesting stories to tell, and it's all because you don't make enough money and we're poor.
Cindy, I'm really sorry, but I think that you might be over-exaggerating just a little bit. I really don't think we're as poor as you might think. Please, can't we just talk about this in person and try and settle things like adults? I'm sure that we can figure this out.
Excuse me? Are you kidding me? What even is there to talk about? I know that you barely even bring up 10 grand over a whole year. That's just pathetic.
You think that I only bring home 10 grand over the whole year? Is this really what you're so upset about, Cindy?
Of course it's what I've made up. I was talking to some of the ladies around the neighborhood, and based on what they said, there's no way that you're bringing home any more than that sad salary.
So then, you basically just made that number up based on conversation with the women around the neighborhood? Do you mind telling me how you reached that amount?
I reached that amount because I know that you have a crappy job, and so you can't be making that much money. You don't even have an office job where you have to put on a suit. You're always leaving the house in those dirty work clothes that make you look like a plumber or something.
Well, I work at a factory, and these are the work clothes that I have to wear, so... And I don't think that you're being fair at all. I mean, I really like my job, and I'm proud of what I do.
Well, good for you, but I don't get why you have to insist on wearing your work clothes even on that day that you're not working.
Oh, well, yeah, you kinda got me there. I still do stay in uniform over the weekend, don't I? I guess I just really don't have many other clothes that I own.
Well, it's far too late for you to apologize for that now. I want you out of the house by the time that I get back home. Do you hear me?
I see. Do you mind telling me where you are right now so that I can know about how much time I have to do all this?
I'm out for a drive right now trying to clear my head, if you must know. I'm taking the case of someone who is going to buy it for a very nice price, actually. So that's what I'm doing.
The car? You're going to find someone who wants to buy the car? You wouldn't be happening to talk about my car, are you? You better not be taking my car to try and sell it. Neither you or Irene even have a license, so just how are you getting around now?
I really don't even know why I'm bothering to respond to these kind of messages from you. Can you just please leave us alone, Dan? We don't want you in our lives anymore. Don't you get that yet? I hope you saw that I also left the divorce papers by the note that I left you. I signed my portion of them, so sign yours and then go take them to the courthouse so we can be done with this, okay?
Please, Cindy, can't we just talk about this? I know that we'd be able to work through this if we only sat down and talked this out.
And I am telling you that there's nothing at all to even talk about. I've made up my mind and nothing is going to change it. You barely make any money at all, and both your daughter and I are sick of living like this. So please, just divorce me so that you can live whatever sad life you want to. Just make sure to keep Irene and I out of it, okay?
Well, I guess you really have made up your mind then. Okay, if this is really the way you want things, I just hope you and Irene are happy.
Oh, we will be once you leave and never ever come back to bother us.
Right. Well, I guess that means that we have a lot of work to do, like changing the name on the deed of the house and all of that. You do realize that we still have some legal things that we'll have to do together beyond just the divorce, don't you?
Yeah. Of course I know about all of that. But I don't need to see you or be with you to do any of that. Just get whatever paperwork we need to sign and send it over to me once you've done your part. I am going to let you try and use these documents as an excuse for you to come near me again.
Okay, we can do things your way, but I'm not sure you're going to like the outcome.
Just shut up and leave me alone already. Why can't you just do this for me?
Hey there, Dad. I just wanted to let you know how sorry I was about all of this. I realize that this kind of leaves you with the short end of the stick in all of this.
Oh, hey, Irene, I appreciate you saying that, but as you understand things, you agreed to all of this as well, right?
Well, I mean, I am pretty sick of living our lives on such a tight budget and always being the poorest person out of who I talk to. But still, I realize that what we're doing is also leaving you in a not so great place either.
I really don't get where you and your mom get into your head that you are in any way poor. I really can't think of a single time where I wasn't able to provide to you food, housing, toys, and anything else you might have liked to do.
Oh, Dad, maybe you just don't understand why Mom and I are so mad because you're just a man. But you see, women like us need to have more money to spend on all kinds of things. And so, it's even more difficult for women to be poor than it is men. Not only that, but it's not right for a man to force the women in his life to be poor. Besides, as Mom and I both understand it, there are actually plenty of men with money in this town. So, it's not like you're the only option we'd be stuck with.
I'm not saying that there aren't families out there with more money, Irene. But I just think that maybe you and your mom might think about reevaluating what you think is rich and poor.
No, Dad. I knew that you wouldn't understand, but I thought that I would try to convince you to see things our way anyways. But I think you just need to accept that Mom and I just have different standards than you do.
But your mom is already with another guy right now, right? One of these rich guys around town that you were talking about.
Wait, hold on a second. How did you know about that? I mean, it's true. Mom is going to be with Kevin from here on out.
And what about you, Irene? What do you want to do? Is this really how you want to live your life?
I don't know what I want, but I think that Mom knows best, and so I'm going to leave things in her hands.
Well, if you're still not sure about this, then I want you to know that you can always come back to me if things don't work out. I'll always be here with open arms if you choose to come back. In fact, you should know that your mom actually stole my car and that I am going to do something about that.
I think that I'm going to stay with Mom. After all, Kevin has promised to give us everything that we ask for. But I wish you good luck with everything, Dad.
Hey, Dan, are you there? I was just wondering how much money you make a month with the job that you have right now.
Oh, Cindy, where is this coming from? I thought you said that you didn't want anything to do with me ever again.
Just answer the question for me, Dan. How much money do you make every month with your job?
I make about 10 grand every month with my job, if you really must know.
No, that can't be right. That's how much you make a year. I know that much. I'm asking about how much you make every month. Can't you read?
I am telling you that I make $10,000 every month with my job. I mean, there are some changes with bonuses and commissions and stuff like that, but at the minimum, it's $10,000 a month.
But then, what about you making $10,000 a year? I thought that was your annual salary, but you're telling me that it's a monthly one instead?
I mean, I have no idea where you got those numbers from, or how you made this mistake. But yeah, how on earth would you be able to afford anything if I only made $10,000 a year